Rashidile, привет, Yulela. I hope Yulela is doing well. That's Yulela, are you ready? Okay. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered in misery's gloom. Thank you, Yulela. See you. Rashidile, everyone. So we are so I hope you all are doing well. So here we have many physical participants, and now we are waiting for Venerable Geshe to arrive. Once Venerable Geshe is here with us, then we will start today's session. Thank you, everyone. We really appreciate.
in misery's gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all direction to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered in misery's gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all direction to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered in misery's gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all direction to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered in misery's gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all direction to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered in misery's gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all direction to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered in misery's gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all direction to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered in misery's gloom. Folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all direction, shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered in misery's gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all direction to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered in misery's gloom. With folded hand, I beseech the Buddhas of all direction to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered in misery's gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all direction to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered in misery's gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all direction to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered in misery's gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all direction to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered in misery's gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all direction to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered in misery's gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all
for all bewildered in misery's gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered in misery's gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered in misery's gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered in misery's gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered in misery's gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered in misery's gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered in misery's gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered in misery's gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered in misery's gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered in misery's gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered in misery's gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered misery's gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered in misery's gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered and misery's gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered and misery's gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered and misery's gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered and misery's gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered and misery's gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered and misery's gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered and misery's gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered and misery's gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered and misery's gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered and misery's gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered and misery's gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered and misery's gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered and misery's gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered and misery's gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered and misery's gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered and mysteries gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered and mysteries gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered and miseries gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered and miseries gloom. I beseech the
Hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all direction to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered and miseries gloom. Thank you very much. I request all of you to kindly be seated. Thank you. And please try to make yourself comfortable. So let me change the format. So it means that we're going to be doing a lengthy introduction and then followed by the lessons. Right. Sure. Sure, sir. Yeah. Good evening and Toshi Dile, everyone. First of all, I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude and appreciation to all of you for joining us today to commemorate the Buddha Purnima, the VESAK Day. And I would also like to thank all the online participants who are joining with us from the Zoom online meeting and as well as from the YouTube online links as well. So before I begin this ceremony, I would like to give you a brief introduction about the significance of today's sacred occasion. So as we all know, Buddha Purnima is one of the most sacred occasions in Buddhism, which celebrates the birth, enlightenment, and the Mahaparinirvana of Lord Buddha. A day of spiritual awakening, inner peace, and compassion. A day which inspires us to follow the path of wisdom, kindness, and non-violence as preached by His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama himself. Today we cultivate love and compassion for all sentient beings and develop inner peace and implement the right action by walking on the path of truth, ethics, and mindfulness. Let us walk the path of wisdom, compassion, and peace to create a better world for all. So happy Vesak to all of you. And with this, now, as we all know, I would just like to give you a brief program overview. So first, we'll be conducting the convocation ceremony for the passing out students of the Nalanda studies, in which we have the Nalanda Diploma course batch 5. And then we have the graduate students from Nalanda Introductory course batch 1, and then Nalanda Certificate course batch 3. So with this, I request afterwards, then we'll be following the undertaking of the Aspirational Bodhisattva pledge led by Venerable Geshe Damdul himself. So with this, I would like to request our director, Venerable Geshe, to kindly proceed with the session, sir.
Hello, hello. Thank you, Coach Chandela, and all the Tibet staff and all the participants, both offline and online. And today corresponds to, as our program, the coordinator, Coach Chandela, explained that today corresponds to 3 sacred holy events coinciding on the same day. That is the Bodhisattva Muni's birth, enlightenment, and Mahaparinirvana. And the Buddha made it very clear that the events related to the holy beings, if you observe these days with your involvement in accumulating virtues, merits, will help us multiply our virtues to innumerable, like millions, billions times. And so with this mind, it's a great day for all of us to take this opportunity to accumulate as great virtues as possible on this day. And earlier at 3 o'clock, Tibet House, organized by Tibet House, has a yearly program that on the VESAK day, this day, we go there to National Museum, pay respect, to get blessings from Bodhisattva Muni's relics in the National Museum. And we went there, then we observed the Aspirational Bodhisattva vow. And then because that it was a small space. So there are many people who are coming on this day to accumulate merit, to be respect to the Buddhist relics. So we do not want to occupy the space for too long. So we made it very quick. And then we explained about the benefits of the Buddha relics outside on the National Museum space. So there, and then we said that this was going to happen here in Tibet House. The best way by which to commemorate the sacred day of a holy being is by treading on the path followed by this great teacher. So, having said this, so treading on the path of the Buddha, today we see that His Holiness the Dalai Lama, who is the embodiment of the Buddha's wisdom and the compassion, and that anybody who trains in these 2 qualities, the universal compassion of altruism and the universal wisdom to see the interdependency of oneself and others, these people will be the happiest. And then this would be the way to stopping all the painful tears of samsara. So whereas if you fail to do that, embrace the universal compassion by having the common sense of seeing the interdependency of oneself and others, then no matter who we are, how powerful you are, how wealthy you are, how youthful you are, essentially we remain forever extremely sad, painful, and having really the agonizingly painful life. So with this in mind, to commemorate this day, that Tibet House in his own capacity, number one, the blessings of His Holiness the Dalai Lama since 2016, Tibet has launched a program of Nalanda studies, which then evolved into Nalanda studies for like 5 years. That is Nalanda master's course for like 5 years, followed by Nalanda diploma course for 1.5 years, followed by Nalanda certificate course for like 6 months, And then Nalanda introductory course for like 2 months. And then added to that, the inspirational conversation program, once in a while, just for the sake of helping the people who are going through depression, anxiety, and having life issues. So to help them, we entertain any questions from them, and then deal with these particularly to help the youngsters. So we are here on the planet Earth. We are just a guest. We're a guest. I'm a guest on this planet Earth. You're a guest on the planet Earth. However powerful you are, however wealthy you are, however young you are, you're a guest on the planet Earth. How much time you have? Very short time. And the young ones in their 20s, you may think, oh, we have another like 60 years, very long number of years. But even that 60 years not guaranteed. Tomorrow may be your last day. We never know. So we never know. So why don't we lead a life of beauty, lead a life of compassion, lead a life of benefiting each other? You can do any job, you can do any business, you can do any work, but that work driven by compassion and common sense, that will be most effective for you to have a sense of joy when you retire from work. Or I led a life of beauty where I be of greatest benefit to others and not harm anyone. So this is something, if you can think of, this be extremely, extremely meaningful. You will not regret in your life. And then you are truly treading the path shown by the Buddha Shakyamuni. So with this in mind, as I said earlier, the Tibet House, with His Holiness's blessings, and with the support of the Indian government since all these many years, under Ministry of Culture, Tibet House sustained itself for the last many years, and lucky that we have very good staff, young ones, very enthusiastic young ones. And in our own capacity, we are trying to be of some service to help others as much as other communities helping to support the system. So likewise, this is what we've been doing. So with this in mind, we're glad to inform you that the Tibet House, we have so since 2016 until date, there are so many the students of the Buddhist studies, the Undertaking of Tibet House, within India, without India. So there are so many of them. And we're lucky that the 2023, there was the time that we actually informed His Holiness in ways of out of 8,000 students, 500 students who just came all the way from different countries, different places to seek blessings of His Holiness the Dalai Lama. And then His Holiness, we're so blessed, that whole program, we're so blessed by the advice, the teachings, and the personal, the blessings given by His Holiness the Dalai Lama. So now today, I'd like to inform you that we are glad to inform you that we are this is a convocation ceremony for the NDC Nalanda Diploma course batch 5, and the Nalanda certificate course batch 3, and the Nalanda introductory course batch 1. So we're going to felicitate those, and many of them, they're all international students, so therefore they cannot really come in person. And we have some of the students who are based in Delhi. So this is where we just informed on the Buddha Shakyamuni that still there are people who believe in your teaching of universal compassion, in your teaching of common sense, to first of all think of the stopping all the painful tears. Otherwise, no matter what you do, but anything that you do, you may be ultra rich, ultra powerful, your painful tears, nobody can stop it for you. Only by teaching following the teachings of the universal compassion and the common sense of understanding interdependency. These two teachings, if you apply, you see that your painful tears can be stopped. And you can share this with your family members who also don't want to go through the painful tears. So with this in mind, I'm just, in a way, like all of us here, somebody who really seeks the blessings of the Buddha Shakyamuni on this day to inform the Buddha, His Holiness Dalai Lama, all the enlightened masters of the universe, that in our own capacity, Tibet House Delhi, now all of you here, as a witness, that in our own capacity, we are trying to follow the footsteps of this greatly enlightened teacher, Buddha Shakyamuni. And then there are these people who are going to be felicitated for having completed their respective courses. So all in all, these courses are expected for anybody, whether you are believer or non-believer, you're the male or non-male, female, non-female, whoever you are. This course is expected to make you feel of the unease, stress, anxiety, to be transformed into ease, into more compassionate, somebody who makes others feel, say, have a sense of trust in you, that they can trust you, that they can see that you are somebody who is imbued with the universal compassion, when embracing compassion, and based on the understanding of interdependency, the wisdom and the compassion, two wings of the same bird, to cross the ocean of the painful tears of samsara. So with this mind, we are very fortunate that since the inception of this program in 2016, we have Mr. Tenzin Shugela, his original name, Mr. Debeshla, and his wife, Mrs. Rimaji, and the refuge name, Yeshudamla. So two of them who have been like the bedrock of these study programs all these many years, since 2016. Now it's exactly like almost 10 years. So I will hand it over to Tenzin Shugela, the chief Nalanda Studies Program Coordinator, to explain, to introduce about this program and the convocation ceremony to the audience, both offline and online. Okay, so Tenzin Shugela, the stage is yours.
Thank you so much, Geshe. Thank you so much for the kind words and guidance that you've been giving for so many years. Like Geshe mentioned, we started this journey for Nalanda courses in 2016. We're extremely blessed. And again, it's kindness of Geshe that Geshe requested His Holiness to launch the Nalanda Master's Course Batch 1. And it was in December that His Holiness launched that course. And after that, many of you know that we could not, this particular course, Nalanda Master's Course, in short, we call it NMC. It's roughly about for 5 years, 6 years. So we can't admit people in between. So we started with Nalanda Diploma course. And interestingly, today, Geshe and everybody there, that it's been 8 years. The first Nalanda Diploma course, Batch 1, we started on 2nd May 2018. So it's exactly 8 years since that time we started. And then other shorter courses were also introduced. Nalanda Certificate course, Nalanda Diploma course is about 1.5 years. Nalanda Certificate course about 6 months. And then the shortest, which was Nalanda Introductory course, which we introduced last year for just about few months, few weeks rather. So we try and like Geshe mentioned, and last time we had a similar convocation. That was when we were very lucky that we got audience with His Holiness on 2nd June 2023. And so usually we try and combine multiple courses when we do convocation. So this time it's across 3 courses. Kungala mentioned, Venerable Geshe also mentioned, Nalanda Diploma course Batch 5, Nalanda Certificate course Batch 3, and Nalanda Introductory course Batch 1. So across these 3 courses, we had over 4,400 participants and over 1,700 people qualified for a certificate or a diploma. So I would like to, of course, first thank Venerable Geshe for his teachings, complicated subjects, complicated topics taught in very easy, accessible way, and also many simple things which we modern people, including myself, often miss in our day-to-day life. So those are, taught to us in such profound and emphatic way that if we remain consistent, we are bound to have effect on us. So I wear two hats, not only as an administrator of this courses, part of my team, and I'm also a student. So, so I'd like to thank Geshe from both perspectives, not only as administrator, but also as a student, on behalf of all the participants. That I'd like to congratulate all the participants. It's not easy. We as an Ananda courses team keep getting emails so many times that people are having such difficult times, yet they don't give up and they continue in the courses. So it's extremely, heartening to see that people see value of these teachings, and they see the benefit that they can apply these teachings. And it is, like Geshe often says in his teaching, it's nothing about ism. It's in a very secular way. It's about, if I am a student, it's about my benefit. If you are a student, it's about your benefit. And you empirically have to verify whether these benefits that are spoken about, are you able to get maximum out of it? Of course, the effort should be from the student side, participant side. So many congratulations. And then many people, even if you did not qualify for the certificate diploma, I know many of you personally that you had a tough time. You could not give the quizzes in time, but you did participate in a heartfelt, sincere way. So congratulations to you all also. And the another milestone that we are achieving today is that this is, in the 3 batches that we're doing convocation, this makes that we've completed 10 batches, 5 batches of Nalanda diploma course, 3 batches of Nalanda certificate course, and 1 batch for Nalanda introductory course, and 1 batch for Nalanda master's course, for which we had the convocation in 2023. So it's kind of a milestone that we've completed 10 batches. And of course, relatively speaking, it sounds like a very small number, but still for us as a team, we've completed 10 batches. And then of course, I as a student and as a chief coordinator, I've been telling myself first, that what these batches that we've conducted as Tibet House under guidance of Venerable Geshe, the whole idea, like I said, is to benefit ourselves. So we should definitely try to implement what we've learned. Otherwise, it would be quite unwise that, we get some kind of a lottery and then we're not using it in a wise way. And if you feel that you've benefited, and there are many participants probably from Nalanda diploma course batch 6, the registration is still open. We don't force anybody, and we've extended the registration for Nalanda diploma course batch 6. So you can spread the message. All the details are available on our website, tibetaus.in/NDC. NDC is a short form for Nalanda diploma course. And then, of course, like I mentioned earlier, that I personally, as a student and administrator, I can't thank enough Venerable Geshe. We all can't thank enough His Holiness for his blessings and guidance. Tibet House is a cultural center of His Holiness. Directly, indirectly, we are all connected. Very grateful to Indian government, specifically Ministry of Culture, who is a major financial supporter for Tibet House. All the participants, the entire Tibet House team. Many of you probably don't know, there are many people who work in the back end who will never come on the Zoom session. But there are many Tibet House, the finance team, the admin team, even the kitchen staff, etc. So all this is because everybody works as a team. Somehow me and my wife get highlighted, but honestly, it's a big team effort that everybody contributes. So extremely, and then we have volunteers who also have been supporting Tibet House and these programs very sincerely in a wholehearted way, that they've always been with us. So very grateful. And lastly, like Venerable Geshe said, that no matter who we are, one day, even if our life is very good right now, one day we'll face the downs of life. So the best way to help ourselves is when we meet such a tradition like Nalanda tradition teachings, and meet teachers like Geshe, and have an environment where, on this planet Earth, His Holiness is also there, then the best way Geshe has given this message in all the courses, the best way is to be kind to ourselves and not to forget the most critical point, to be wisely kind to ourselves. And to be wisely kind, we need both the wings, like Geshe mentioned just a few minutes ago, both the wings of compassion and the wisdom. So with that, I now hand over back to Kungala, that if you can please, conduct, the next steps for the convocation. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Deepeshla. And now let us now begin the convocation ceremony, for which I would like to request our director, Venerable Geshe Dorji Damdul, to kindly do the honor of presenting the certificate and the white scarf to the passing out students of the Nalanda studies. As I call upon the names of the Nalanda students, I request all of you to kindly appreciate their effort and let us congratulate them on this very auspicious day, which coincides with the Buddha Purnima as well. So first, from the Nalanda Diploma Course Batch 5, I call upon Ms. Shaili Bhutani. And then we have Ms. Anchal Gautam from Nalanda Diploma Course Batch 5. Ms. Anna De Marina. Ms. Anna De Marina. Right. Then we move on to Ms. Marina Plekhanova, Nalanda Diploma Course Batch 5. Then we have Ms. Hila Bhutia from Nalanda Diploma Course Batch 5. Mr. Dorji Sharpala from Nalanda Diploma Course Batch 5. Then we have Ms. Shivani Narwal from MPC 5. And then we have Mr. Stanton Lotus, who have completed his MPC 5 and NRC 1. Moving to Nalanda Certificate Course Batch 3. First, we have Ms. Nancy. Then second, we have Avi Ganduli from Nalanda Certificate Course Batch 3. Mr. Harshit Bhagat from NCC 3. We have Mr. Ashish Bhatija from NCC 3. Then we have Ms. Puravi Gupta, NCC 3. Then we have Sangmitra Gautam from NCC 3. Mr. Nimawandi Butiala, NCC 3. Dr. Pawan Kumar, NCC 3. Mr. Chandan Karwar from NCC 3. Then moving on to the NIC 1, I would like to call upon Mr. Aman Kumar from NIC 1. Second, we have Mr. Ashish Bhatija, NIC 1. We have Lobby Satya from NIC 1. Ms. Lobby Satyaji. Um, Now we have Mr. Divanshu Bansalji from NIC 1. Mr. Chandan Karwar, NIC 1. Then we have Ms. Nisha Pariji from NIC 1. Last but not least, we have Harshita Kilnani ji from LIC 1. Thank you very much, Venerable Geshe. And as we have concluded with the convocation ceremony now I would request now I would like to kindly request Mr. Deveshla to kindly speak a few words before we move on to the undertaking of the Aspirational Bodhisattva Pledge.
Thank you, Gishla. Congratulations, many congratulations, everybody. I don't have much to add. Kungala, if you can ask there that if there are people who did not register for in-person, if they are there, they can get in touch with the Nalanda courses team and we can hand over the certificate. Is there somebody there who did not register and walked in and would like to take your certificate from Venerable Gishla? Is there anybody there? No. Of course, you should have qualified, right? If you didn't, then okay. I was a little concerned and I apologize. I should have been there, but I have my own constraints, could not be there in person.
Okay. I think so. Those whose names are not cited, who didn't get the certificate yet, you please claim it from the office. Whenever you have free time tomorrow, inform the office so they will put your name there on a certificate. So you will get your certificate. Peer gift. Okay. Amazing. Wonderful. Okay. And the lady here. Yes. Okay. So you'll get the certificate. Yes. Okay. So with this in mind, so while there are so many students who actually finished their NTC 5, NTC, we call it NTC Batch 5. Otherwise, there's always the, say, misunderstanding. People think that it's NTC 5, which must be very high level 5. It's just a batch. We finish the first batch, then the second batch with the same subject is introduced, like with third, fourth, fifth. So we finish with the fifth. So now we have the sixth brochure. Whatever. Okay, so basically, we have done with the fifth. So now the sixth, the batch 6 has already commenced. And those, for example, recently when I was in a 10-day retreat, a study retreat with about like 50, 60 the participants into something in Himachal, there were many of them who newly enrolled for this. Oh yeah, 2 of them are there from the retreat and the others also from retreat. So what I'm saying is that if there are some who still want to enroll, you are not enrolled and you want to enroll, we still have the extended enrollment date still is possible. So we have just finished about the few sessions, and those who are going to be enrolled freshly, there is a possibility for get enrolled. And the purpose is not for anything else. It's just to make sure that each one of us will learn how to be happy, how to be kind, and to make sure that learn how to maintain focus, learn how to maintain the understanding, how to be more resilient in your life, and thereby mentally not easily be affected or be irritated at any situation. And because of this, then you can be a good role model for your family members, to be harmonious to each other, So this is the main aspiration. So there are many. As of now, for the batch 6, already we have about like 3,000 students. 3,000 students already so successfully registered for this program. And still we have maintained the possibility for the enrollment. So anybody who's interested, and for the monastics is 100% scholarship, and for the students is 75% scholarship given. And what is that 25% scholarship is just if you go to have a nice lunch in a hotel, that's good enough. Whole year long the scholarship, the payment that you're making for this course, whole 1 year, which you get. Okay, so this is the brochure, and feel free to get the hard copy from Tibet's office. And this will tell you what the topics taught is primarily to see how to maintain calmness, how to learn to be compassionate, and how to build a sense of resilience, and how to build so these are things that which they are being taught, and all the topics were covered. You will see them here, and it has multiple benefits. And so no doubt by rendering these courses, because that the number of the students is quite big, already like 3,000 students are here for this program. So therefore, like drops that Tibet House sustain ourselves, as the baseline indicated, that the Ministry of Culture, Indian government has been extremely kind to support, to give some little bit of money to sustain ourselves. So meanwhile, the students, their fees just so little, we deliberately kept it so much subsidized to make sure that as many people get the opportunity to have access to this teaching. So therefore, feel free. And why we are keeping this enrollment date a little open even today is for the reason that people, when they come to know about these programs, then in the middle, they request to give enrollment. And it's very painful to say no. It's like the declining the interest of somebody else. To say yes, the momentum of the class which already conducted for the last like 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, that's been hampered because of the newcomer dropping in. And then this is what happens. So with this mind, so many congratulations to all the recipients of the certificates, and many of you international students. You are not here in person, but your certificates will be dispatched to you. And then the others, as Pinchugala indicated, that you have studied well, but you may not have attempted the quizzes for which the certificate is given. But the most important thing, as Pierre so rightly said, that we are doing this course not for the sake of a certificate, not for the sake of name and fame. It's for your own cultivation, for your own development, for your own maturation, for you to be a happier person and to teach others how to be happy. Well, only when you are happy, your career will be very, very successful. For example, like somebody, a diplomat or CEO, take these courses, they become very calm. With a calm mind, the sanity comes. With this sanity, then whatever you do, it becomes very effective. And you effective in one sense, effective not in destroying, effective in creating, effective in creating harmony in the community. So this is the most important thing. The whole purpose of our rendering this course is for this purpose. Okay, so on those online participants from the other countries of the world, and many congratulations to you also, and those who did the course but who are not so interested in the exams or the quiz. I also congratulate you for your deep inside interest, for the betterment of your growth, for the growth of the happiness, and wanting to spread this happiness to the world, to make the world a more beautiful world, to make the world where the trust is built, trust is restored, and confidence is restored, harmony is restored, where all these otherwise, all these conflicts on the different levels, including domestic violence and so forth, they all can be mitigated by the power of cultivating universal compassion based on the recognition of the respect and the recognition of the others also as human beings, just as you are, and that by dependence on others, your happiness is determined, and that by dependence on you, others' happiness is determined. So with this recognition, somebody who becomes extremely sensible and you truly embody as a representative of the world, where you become very decent person. Anybody who thinks about you, they just miss you. They just would feel that this is a person who's so meaningful. And you know, your next life is guaranteed to be very successful. For example, there are some people, because of being so kind, to not harming others, so kind, this action determines them in the future lives. Without effortlessly, they gain power. Effortlessly, they get wealth. And who's that wealthy, very wealthy person? For example, like Ratan Tata. Just know he's not struggling. He was not somebody who craves, greedy. No greed, no crave. Naturally, wealth came to him. And this wealth that he got, he was just contributing for the welfare of the humanity, welfare of the education of the people, education, health, and to uplift the well-being of the common people. That's amazing. These are the inspiration that we need to take from such beings. So having said this, so now taking the aspiration Bodhisattva vow, as I said earlier, the best way by which to remember, commemorate the great teachers like the Buddha is to tread on a path that they followed, which allowed them to have the hidden treasure manifested. Each one of us, no matter who you are, even though you may feel that you're so low, so hopeless, somebody is so, they say, celebrated. No, everybody has the same hidden treasure. We all have the same treasure. It's not a story. It's not a folk tale. This is reality. Everybody has this hidden treasure. The one who discovers this hidden treasure, you become a happy person. The one who fails to discover that, you always remain deprived and feeling that I'm just a hopeless person. Nobody loves me. Nobody cares for me. And everybody's suspicious of me. And I'm being just dumped like the doormat. So this is all because of your underestimating the potential that you have. The potential that you have is known as the hidden treasure. And the Buddhist context, this is known as the Buddha nature. So our job here is to awaken this hidden treasure so that very soon, each one of us we're able to stop the painful tears completely, and each one of us to expand this ease that we feel to infinity. That's the purpose of life. If that happens, you are a very successful person. Whatever you're doing, you're very successful. If that is not happening, where you create unnecessary fear in somebody, where you unnecessarily create conflicts in others, this is not the purpose of life. You are going to be such you will have to go through very painful experiences in the future. So with this in mind, just try to be as compassion. Whatever job, any job that you're doing is fine. Any business you can do, job that you're teaching, whatever you do it wholeheartedly with the motivation of compassion. That in one way, what I'm doing can be of benefit to serve the community, make this community stronger rather than divide the community. So this is something that if you can think of, commemorating this day of the Buddha's birth, enlightenment, and parinirvana, then you are truly making this evening very, very beneficial, where the virtues, merits that you accumulate will be multiplied by millions, trillions of times due to it coinciding with this very precious time. So with this in mind, given that we don't as of now, the books that we have, the blaze of the non-dual Bodhicittas, for the offline participants, we have the screen here, the screen, and then the books. There are two kinds. One with the latest edition, which is the eighth edition, and most of the ones with the soft copies, they are mostly the 7th edition. So therefore, it may differ slightly from what you find on the screen with what you're holding. So for example, the book with hardcover, the Blaze with hardcover, that is the most updated one. So it may differ slightly. So one on the screen and the one with the hard copy, these two tally. So those of you, the main here in the main hall. So when you have the soft, what do you call it, the paperback, I would suggest you to look at the screen. What you see on the screen, that is the most updated one. It may differ slightly. For those here on my right and left side, unless you have the hardcover book, then you should be a little careful. And those who do not have otherwise, many of you have the soft copy as well. Okay, with in mind, given that we have already taken much time with the convocation ceremony, we will make this program a little shorter. Okay, having said this, let us turn to page 3, setting proper motivation. So to what extent the merits that you're going to accumulate is going to be multiplied? It's all determined by your setting the motivation. What motivation you set, that determines to what extent the merit is going to be multiplied. So visualize as a part of the setting proper motivation, visualize Buddha Shakyamuni, His Holiness the Dalai Lama, and all the Nalanda masters, past Indian Nalanda masters, who left such a legacy of wisdom and compassion on planet Earth, as so loving, caring, and embracing. Likewise, visualize your two kind parents and all of them members, and all the other sentient beings, human beings, animals, insects, holy ghosts, God and goddesses, spirits of the planet Earth, of the Milky Way galaxy, of the entire universe. And where you are like the mother and all others are like children. And the purpose of our being together here is to commemorate this great teacher, Buddha Shakyamuni, by treading on the path that he followed, by awakening the hidden treasure within us, by creating the two wings, the wing of the wisdom to see the interdependence one from others, and the wing of the universal compassion. So with this mind, imagine that you are leading this practice and all beings are joining us. Page 3. And teach by great compassion, you taught the Immaculate Dharma to dispel all perverted views. To you, the Buddha Gautama, I pay homage. And teach by great compassion, you taught the Immaculate Dharma to dispel all erroneous views. To you, the Buddha Gautama, I pay homage. And teach by great compassion, you taught the Immaculate Dharma to dispel all erroneous views. To you, the Buddha Gautama, I pay homage. Sanje joda zoge jona amlo chanjo bardo dane gyabso chim tage jinso kebe sonamge nola benjere sanje drubara ejo sanje joda zoge jona amlo chanjo bardo dane gyabso chim tage jinso kebe Dola benjere zanje jubara esho, zanje joda zoge jonam no, chanjo bardo dane gyabsuch, age jinso gebe sonam ge, dola benjere zanje jubara esho. I go for refuge and am enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha. I make accumulations to the practice of giving and so forth. May I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge and am enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha. By my accumulations of the practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge and am enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha. By my accumulations of the practice of giving and so forth, and dependent origination, there is no ceasing, no arising, no annihilation, no permanence, no coming, no going, no separateness, and no sameness. I prostrate to the consummate Buddha, the supreme of all teachers, who want to taught this peace, which is free of elaborations. I prostrate to the mothers of the hearers, the host of Bodhisattvas, and the Buddha's follows, the Lord of all, which leaves the hearer seeking pacific and complete peace, the Lord of the paths, which causes the Bodhisattvas with altruism to help migrators to achieve the aims of the world, and omniscience, the thought of possession of which helps the Buddhas expound a variety of teachings endowed with complete aspects of subjects, the one who has transformed into the reliable guide, motivated by altruism to benefit sentient beings, the teacher, Sukha, and protector to your administrations, the one who has eliminated the web of conceptualizations and is endowed with the divine bodies of the vast and the profound, who eternally shines forth the forever noble light rays to you, the Buddha, and make prostrations. Inspired by wisdom and compassion, today in the Buddha's presence, I join the mind of full awakening for the benefit of all sentient beings. Om Dharma Tu Prabhava Hetum Te Sham Dathagato Yavatat Te Sham Chayo Nirodha Evam Vati Mahashramana Swaha Om Dharma Tu Prabhava Hetum Te Sham Dathagato Yavatat Te Sham Chayo Nirodha Evam Swaha Om Dharma Hetu Prabha Chayo Nirodha Evam Vati Mahashramana Swaha. Meaning of the dependent origin mantra. All phenomena arise from causes. The causes are taught by the Tathagata. Whatever the cessation of these causes is taught thus by the great seer. Profound, peaceful, elaboration-free, clear-lighted, and non-composite. Such the nectar of Dharma I've discovered. Finding no one to fathom this teaching, in silence I'll return to words. Beyond our trends, thought, and expression is the perfection of wisdom, which is unborn, unceased, and has the nature of space. It is the object of apprehension of the self-realized wisdom. To you, the mother of the Buddhas of the three times of obeisance. The four seeds of the Buddha's teachings. All composite things are impermanent. All contaminated things are the nature of suffering. All phenomena are the nature of emptiness and selflessness. Transcending sorrow is peace. The Guru is the Buddha, the Guru is the Dharma, likewise the Guru is the Sangha, the Guru is the source of everything wholesome. I go for refuge in the Guru. By the sound of the vibrant drum of Dharma, you liberate all beings of miseries. I beseech you to kindly remain and give teachings until the end of the expanse of billions of eons. The Buddha does not watch the negativities of beings, nor does he remove their miseries by his hands. His spiritual realizations are not transferred to them. It is by teaching the truth of suchness that beings are liberated. Instructions on parting from the four attachments. If attached to this life, you are not a spiritual practitioner. If attached to samsara, you have no renunciation. If attached to your own self-interest, you have no bodhicitta. If there is grasping, you do not have the view. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered miseries gloom. Having generated the mind of supreme enlightenment, and brought all sentient beings to be my guest, and will engage in the appealing to the excellence of enlightenment, may I become Buddha for the benefit of all sentient beings. We give praise to Shakyamuni Buddha. Wholeheartedly, let us contemplate on the qualities of the Buddha, based on which we made the supplication, we made the praise, we say the eulogy to the Buddha, and with this mind, just see that we also be inspired to follow the footsteps of the Buddha, that eventually each one of us will attain, will be able to awaken the hidden treasure within us, to become one like him, to be of innumerable, incredible great benefit for all the demon sentient beings. With this mind, let's read the following by imagining that you are leading this, and all beings are joining us. To the founder, the endowed transcendent destroyer, the Tathagata, the full destroyer, completely perfected, fully awakened being, perfect in knowledge and in good conduct. Sugata, knower of the world, supreme guide of human beings to be tamed, teacher gods and human beings, to you, the complete and fully awakened one, the endowed transcendent destroyer, the glorious conqueror, the subdued from the Shakya clan, I persuade, may go friends and go for refuge. When all supreme amongst humans, you are born on this earth, you paced us 7 strides, then said, I'm supreme in this world. To you who are wise, then I prostrate. With pure bodies, form supremely pure, wisdom ocean like a golden mountain, fame that blazes in the 3 worlds, wind of the best, Lord to air prostrate. For a supreme science, face like a spotless moon, color the gold, to you are prostrate. Trustfully like you, the 3 worlds are not, incompatible wise one, to you are prostrate. A Savior having great compassion, the founder having all understanding, the field of merit with qualities like vast ocean, to you the Tathagata prostrate. The purity that frees from attachment, the virtue that frees from lower realms, the one path, the sublime pure reality, to the Dhamma that pacifies, are prostrate. Those who are liberated and also show the path to liberation, fully feel qualified with realizations, who are devoted to the moral precepts, to you the Sangha are prostrate. I prostrate to the Buddha, the chief of bipeds. I prostrate to the Dhamma, the protector. I prostrate to the Sangha, the supreme one. To all 3 I always prostrate with reverence. With extreme devotion, do I always prostrate to all who are worthy of prostrations, through surrendering my body's numbering particles that constitute all realms. Do not commit any non-virtuous actions, but from only perfect virtuous actions. Subdue mind thoroughly. This is the teaching of the Buddha. A star, a visual aberration, a flame of a lamp, an illusion, a drop of dew or a bubble, a dream, a flash of lightning, a cloud. See, conditioned things as such. Through these matters, may sentient beings attain the rank of omniscience, subdue 4 faults, and be delivered from samsara's ocean, perturbed by the waves of aging, sickness, and death. Okay, let's turn to page Heart Sutra, which is on page 31. Page 31, and those with the old book should be on page 29. The new one is page 31. Okay, as a recite Heart Sutra, this teaching was given by the Buddha on Vulture's Peak, and those of us who already have been exposed to the teaching on emptiness, how to wake up from the sleep of ignorance. Till we wake up from the sleep of ignorance, no matter what we do. For example, like just imagine being in the dream. Being in the dream, and who decides the dream? We don't have the freedom to choose the dream. The dream decides. Sometimes it's very pleasant dreams, oftentimes it's very scary, nightmares, and where you are stuck in dream, there's no freedom. We don't have the freedom to choose the dream. So, not having the freedom, lack of freedom, that's known as misery. And misery is samsara. So the wise people, what they do is that they try to wake up so that they're not affected by the dream which decides their fate. So waking up from the dream is of 2 kinds. Waking up from the conventional dream and waking up from the unconventional dream. Waking up from the conventional dream happens every day for everyone. We wake up from the sleep, and then you wake, but they say you have a tremendous fear in the dream, nightmare. For example, I myself, I had so many cases of nightmares in my dream. This nightmares happened, and wake up is such a relief. So likewise, each one of us, we must have our own stories about the very, very extremely scary dreams. And then you're in the dream, you're totally helpless. For example, like on the one hand, there's somebody, say, the earthquake and the building collapsing on you, and you run, there's a line waiting for you. There's only 2 options. Extremely scary, totally helpless, and suddenly you wake up to realize that it's not true, and you feel such a relief. So this is what happens in a conventional dream. Now, likewise, in the unconventional dream, it happens, for example, in a life. Each one of us, we have a very, very sad stories. You have your parents' problems, you have your children problem, you have your neighbor's problem, you have your sister's problem, you have your brother's problem. All these these pains. They are so agonizingly painful. So these are all happening on the level of the unconventional dream. So just as in the conventional dream, to get out with these nightmare, you wake up, the fear stops. Likewise, wise people will put effort to wake up from the unconventional dream. And each one of us, we've gone through the unconventional at the moment. So we see this as a waking state, not as a dream, but it's a kind of a dream. This is known as unconventional dream. Till we wake up from this dream, no, you are bounded. Today, you may be the richest person, you may be the most powerful person, and the next life, you can be the poorest person. You can be just like the chicken in the for the crocodiles, for the lions in the zoo, chicken thrown in the air. You can be that person, that being, the next life. So today you can be very powerful. Next life can be like a chicken in the KFC. So no power. So we are all in the dream of in the unconventional dream. And the only 0.0001% of the beings who are smart people, they're very less. Smart people, they will get a sense that somewhere there should be a way out. But how we see the world, conventional world, is full of pains. So what is the way out? Wake up. Just as we wake up from the conventional dream, you're freed from the nightmare of the conventional dream. Likewise, we wake up from the sleep of unconventional dream. We are liberated from samsara, the dream of samsara completely. That is the wisest of the beings, where all painful tears stop. How many of you shed tears in your life recents? How many shed tears in your life? And how many have seen your parents shedding tears recents? Some parents, they're smart in hiding their tears. But still you have seen that. As a child, you have seen that. It's so painful. I've seen my dad shedding tears. I've seen others shedding tears. I've seen others who are extremely, so-called successful people. I've seen them shedding tears. Everybody shedding tears. It's so painful. So the fact that one is shedding tears means that we are still we are helpless. Helpless means that we are in the grip of the dream, unconventional dream. And by the very definition of the dream, there's no freedom to choose dream. How many of you would like to have a dream of His Holiness, to be with His Holiness, for sense? How many like to have this dream? Okay. How many will have this dream tonight, raise hands? Why not? It's a very pleasant dream. Why not? And then His Holiness saying, oh, wow. Okay, so you stay with me. We'll have a cup of tea together. Amazing dream. But who's going to have this dream tonight? Raise hands. Who's going to have this dream? Not who's like to have. Who's going to have this? It's very pleasant. Why not? Although, however pleasant it is, we don't have the freedom to choose that. However powerful you are, however rich you are, however influential you are, you don't have the freedom to choose the dream created by the karma. So the wise people, the best thing to do is not let the dream decide you. You take over the dream by waking up. This is the wise person's approach. How to wake up? Our Sutra teaches us. Okay, let's read this. The Heart Sutra, the Perfection of Wisdom Sutra. I prostrate to the irretrievable gem. Thus did I hear at one time. The Buddha was dividing on the marks of Vows mountain. The Rajgriha, together with a great community of monks and a great community of Bodhisattvas. At that time, the Buddha was absorbed in the concentration on the categories of phenomena called profound illumination. Also at that time, the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Arabhadukateshvara took up on the very practice of profound illumination of wisdom and beheld those five aggregates. Then through the power of the Buddha, the Venerable Shariputra said this to the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Arabhadukateshvara: how should any child of the lineage who wishes to practice the activity of profound professional wisdom train? He said that, and the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Arabhadukateshvara said this to the Venerable Shariputra: Shariputra, any son of the lineage or daughter of the lineage who wish to practice the activity of profound perfection wisdom, look upon it like this, correctly and repeatedly, beholding those five aggregates also as empty inherent nature. Form is empty, empty is a form. Empty is not other than form, form is also not other than emptiness. In the same way, feeling, discrimination, composition factors, and consciousness are empty. Shariputra, likewise, all phenomena are empty, without characteristic, unproduced, unceased, stainless, not without stain, not deficient, not fulfilled. Shariputra, therefore, in emptiness, there is no form, no feeling, no discrimination, no composition factors, no consciousness, no eye, no ear, no nose, no tongue, no body, no mind, no visual form, no sound, no smell, no taste, no object of touch, and no phenomenon. There is no I element and so on, up to and including no mind element and no mental consciousness element. There is no ignorance, no extinction of ignorance, and so on, up to and including no aging and death, and no extinction of aging and death. Similarly, there is no suffering, origination, cessation path. There is no exalted wisdom, no attainment, also no non-attainment. Shariputra, therefore, because there is no attainment, Bodhisattvas rely on and dwell in the perfection of wisdom, the mind without obscuration and thus without fear. Having completely passed beyond error, there is the endpoint in nirvana. All the Buddhas who dwell in the three times also manifest a completely awakened, unsurpassable, perfect, complete enlightenment and reliance on the perfection of wisdom. Therefore, the mother of the perfection of wisdom, the mother of great knowledge, the unsabas mantra, mantra equal and unequaled, mantra that thoroughly pacifies all suffering, should be known as truth, since it is not false. The mother of the perfection of wisdom is declared, Dhyata Om Gade Para Sam Gade Bodhis. Shariputra, the Bodhisattva, Mahasattva should train in the profound perfection of wisdom like that. Then the Buddha arose from that concentration, commanded the Bodhisattva, Mahasattva Araviluktesh, saying, well said, son of lineage, it is like that, it is like that. One should practice the profound perfection of wisdom, just as you've indicated. Even the Tathagatas rejoice, the Buddha having thus spoken, the Venerable Shariputra, the Bodhisattva, Mahasattva, Araviluktesh, those surrounded in the entirety, along with the world of gods, humans, asuras, and gandharvas, were overjoyed and highly praised that spoken by the Buddha. This completes the Arya Bhagavati Prasnaparamita Hridaya Sutra. Deyata Gate Gate Paragate Arasangate Bodhisva Dhyata Gate Gate Aragate Arasangate Bodhisva Dhyata Similar. Aragate. So much loose. Yata Om Gate Gate Aragate Arasamgate Bodhisva. By the teachings of three supreme jewels possessing power of truth, may inner and outer of the hindrances be transformed, may they be dispelled, may they be non-existent, may they be pacified, may all negative forces of the whole truth of the Dhamma be completely pacified, may the whole 80,000 obstacles be pacified, may we be separated from problems and conditions harmful to the Dhamma, may all enjoyments to be in accord with the Dharma, may auspice and perfect happiness pervade this place now. Okay, so now, okay, what we do is the page 39, the 7 in practice, 7 in practice. What's the page? What's the old one page? Ningbadi. But the old one, page 37, and the new one, page 39. Page 37 or page 39, the new one, the screen, what you have on the screen sharing is page 39, and the old one, the books that you have here on 2 sides, the old book is on page 37. Okay, so let's say this together. 7 in practice, excerpt from the King of Prayers. the extraordinary aspiration of the practice of Samadhi. I bow down to the youthful Manjushri. You, the Buddha's alliance amongst humans, going to freedom in the present, past, and future, in the worlds of 10 directions. To all of you with body, speech, and sincere mind, I bow down. With the energy of aspiration for the Bodhisattva way, with a sense of deep respect, and with as many bodies as atoms of the world, to all you Buddhas visualize as real, I bow down. On every particle of Buddhas, numberless as particles, each image of host of Bodhisattvas, and I'm confident the spirit of all phenomena is entirely filled with Buddhas in this way. With infinite oceans of praise for you and oceans of sound from aspects of my voice, I sing the red prayer with all the Buddhas and celebrate all of you Sagadas. Beautiful flowers and regal garlands, sweet music, scented oils and parasols, sparkling lights and sublime incense offered to the victorious ones of Buddhas. Fine dress and fragrant perfumes, sandalwood powder, heat ties, Mount Meru, all wondrous offering in spectacular array offered to the victorious ones. But once in the offering, expect with profound admiration for all the Buddhas, with Inshallah. Overwhelmed by attachment, anger, and ignorance. The monks, real. You are the bright light of the worlds in 10 directions. For I attain the Buddha's omniscience through the stages of awakening. All who are my guides, please turn the supreme will of Dharma. With palms together, I earnestly request you who may actualize parinirvana, please stay with us for eons, numberless as atoms of the world, for the happiness and well-being of all wanderers in samsara. Whatever slight merit I may have accumulated by making prostrations, offering and confessing, rejoicing and requesting that the Buddha stay and teach, I now dedicate all this for the full awakening of all beings. Okay, page 44. Foundation of all good qualities. The old one, which page? 42. The older version, page 42, the new one, 44. The foundation of all good qualities, Parliament Tsongkhapa. Together, the foundation of all good qualities is the kind and perfect pure Guru. Correct devotion to him is the root of the path. By clearly seeing this and applying great effort, please bless me to freedom of this birth is found only once, is greatly meaningful, and is difficult to find again. Please bless me to generate the mind that unceasingly day and night takes its essence. This life is as impermanent as a water bubble. Remember how quickly recognizing these shortcomings, please bless me to generate the strong wish for the bliss of liberation. That by the pure thought, mindfulness, alertness, and great caution arise. The root of the teaching is keeping the Pratimoksha vows. Please bless me to accomplish this essential practice. Just as I fall in the sea of samsara, so have all my migratory beings. Please bless me to see their training in supreme bodhicitta and bear the responsibility of freeing migratory beings. Even if I develop bodhicitta, but I don't practice the 3 types of morality, I'll not achieve enlightenment. With my clear recognition of this, please bless me to practice the Bodhisattva vows with great energy. Once I pacify distractions to wrong objects and correctly analyze the meaning of reality, please bless me to generate quickly bent my mind frame, the unified path of karma abiding special insight. Having become a pure vessel by training in the general path, please bless me to enter the holy gate of the fortunate ones, the supreme Vajra vehicle. At that time, the 2 attainments is keeping pure vows, Samaya. As I've become firmly convinced of this, please bless me to protect these vows in the pleasure of my life. Then, having realized the importance of the 2 stages, in essence, never give up the 4 sessions. Please bless me to realize the teachings of the Holy Guru. Like that, may the Gurus who show the noble path and especially friends who practice have long lives, please bless me to pacify completely all outer and inner hindrances. in all my life, never separated from perfect gurus, and enjoy a magnificent Dharma by completing the quality of stages in the paths, may I quickly attain the state of Vajratara. Okay, we will say this, mix them of verse together. First English, followed by the Tibetan. You are Avalokiteshvara, great treasure of non-referential compassion, and Manjushri, Malas to much flawless wisdom, as well as Vajrapani, disturb whose achievements without exception. Zongaba, crown jewel of the sages of the land who snows, those on top at your feet and make prostration. So when we say this in Tibetan, it's just for information. There are many new ones who do not know how this, and they make them first came into being. It was initially composed by the Lama Tsongkhapa, the author of many texts, and he composed this for his own teacher, where he credited his teacher to the three perfect qualities of Buddha: perfect knowledge embodied by Arya Manjushri, perfect compassion embodied by Arya Avalokiteshvara, and perfect power embodied by Arya Vajrapani. And he credited his teacher, to these three embodiments of the three perfect qualities of Buddha. And the teacher read this, and after reading this, he deleted his own name and replaced that by his student's name, saying that this phrase fits better with you than me. And then this became such the widely said all over in Tibet since 14th century for the last 600 years. So this has been so blessed by the two teachers, first by and then following that by Lama Tsongkhapa. Okay, we'll say this together. So when we say this, just for the purpose of accommodating the melody, we skip the third line. So there's nothing, no other reasons. Let's say this three times together. Meaning of the maximum verse once more. In English, you are Avalokiteshvara, great treasure of non-referential compassion, and Manjushri, master of flawless wisdom, as well as Vajrapani, destroy hosts with demons without exception, Sangaba, crown jewel of the sage of the land of snows, those on top at your feet and make prostrations. Okay, next is generating the body of consummate yoga. We will do a shorter version. For this, first we will do 5 minutes of shamatha meditation, single-pointed meditation. Ready? 5 minutes. Okay, this is so those. I'm not going to give a detailed instruction on this. The most important thing is body upright, and your eyes not closed. Eyes 45 degrees, the half open, 45 degrees cast down. That's your eyes. Your hand, right hand on a left hand, and the tips of two thumbs joining, forming a triangle, and the place the two hands in your lap in a restful state. This is your body posture. Then the next, so meanwhile, don't control your breath. Let the breath flow very naturally. Don't control it. Don't force the breath. Just let it happen very naturally. Then what are you going to meditate on? Just visualize a tiny white dot, or to make it very simple. So those of you who already got the instructions from the early other retreats, we kind of many retreats, and also for the Tibet of Nalinda. So those who attend these programs, we teach how to do the meditation properly. So to make it very quick, just count your breath, breathe in, breathe out. So breathe in, breathe out, combined together is one cycle. Again, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, 2 cycles. So we'll do for 5 minutes. And meanwhile, in between, if it so happens that you lose track of the count, then you have to go back to 0. From 0 again count. So this is what you do for 5 minutes. And the errors of meditation, what mistakes can we make when we meditate? There are 2 primary mistakes which can possibly make. One is known as the mental excitement, and the other one is known as mental laxity. Mental excitement is the overactivity of the mind, where your mind becomes overactive, scattered, distracted. And the other one is mental laxity, which is the inactivity of the mind. So should any of these 2 things happen, you have to apply the remedies. What kind of remedies are there? Again, twofold: introspection and mindfulness. Introspection is to keep an eye on your mind to see that you are actually meditating properly and not under influence of the laxity or excitement. And once you identify that you're able to catch your mind being scattered or in a sleepy mode, then apply the mindfulness. Mindfulness is to bring the mind back to the intended object of meditation. So 5 minutes, ready? Okay, thank you. Thank you. Hello. Okay, so next we, since we're going to do the shorter version, let us mentally, let's take a few moments to invoke the spirit that may my hidden treasure manifest, that I experience, the total fearlessness where all my other painful tears stop and my happiness expands to infinity. Just feel that. And that do for the benefit of myself, my family members, parents, all family members, and all the other sentient beings. Just move the spirit, may I awaken this hidden treasure known as Buddha nature. So with this mindset, with folded hands, let us make a Bodhicitta commitment 3 times together. May I become Buddha for the benefit of all my dear mother sentient beings. So keep in mind that when I say may I become Buddha, it doesn't mean that may I become Buddhist. It's not don't mix up the two things. Buddhist is an ism, but it's Buddha is a Sanskrit word which means awakening, awaken my hidden treasure for the benefit of myself and for the benefit of all the dear sentient beings. We have two times more. May I become Buddha for the benefit of all my dear mother sentient beings. May I become Buddha for the benefit of all my dear mother sentient beings. Okay, slowly transform this, the most beautiful mind of the Bodhicitta, into a spotless, clean moon disk, horizontally sitting with the heart. Okay, you made a religious commitment to become Buddha, but how can you become Buddha? By the gold is inside within me. The gold, however, the gold is mixed with the mud. When it's mixed with mud, it doesn't glow. All the nature of the gold is to glow because the mud obstructs its glow. So what do? You remove the mud and the gold will automatically glow. That all the painful tears stop and the happiness expands to infinity. So how to do that? How to remove the mud? By resorting a very powerful remedy. What is the remedy? The wisdom of emptiness. What's the wisdom of emptiness? The wisdom to wake up from the sleep of the unconventional dream. Okay, just visualize, imagine that, okay, just I wake up from the conventional dream every day. How I wish that I wake up from this unconventional dream of samsara, whereby I see everything is like a dream, purely construct of my own mind. Thereby, I'm being totally freed, liberated, not being affected by any external factors. So this realization, and those of you who already have some exposure to emptiness concept, you think of emptiness. Those who are you new, just imagine that I wake up from the sleep of ignorance, whereby I realize everything is like a dream. Everything coming from mind, nothing really from the object. Of course, to reach to actual realization, it requires extensive studies, contemplation, and you see that this is the most meaningful journey of your life, where you get the tool to stop all the painful tears. So this wisdom of emptiness, to know that nothing objectively is from the object, things are empty of objective reality. Slowly transform this most fearless mind of the wisdom of emptiness, of objective reality, into a spotless, clean, thumb-sized white vajra, vertically sitting on the moon is good heart. Okay, now you have the moon, symbolic of the conventional bodhicitta, to exterminate a self-centered attitude, and a vajra, symbolic of the ultimate bodhicitta, to exterminate all the mental defilements, both afflictive and cognitive obscurations. You're very fortunate. Meanwhile, don't forget that your 2 parents, all of them members, children, all their mothers and children suffering terribly. So generate this great compassion to all the beings. And this compassion invokes Vajramuni to heart to multiply infinite number of times. And share one set of Vajramuni with your mother at her heart, one set with your dad at his heart, one set with you, each one of family members, want to serve each of the beings in the world, in the oceans, in the wilderness, in the Milky Way galaxy, in the entire universe. So meanwhile, let's also not forget that all the Bodhisattvas, they are watching us. Today, Buddha Shakyamuni, His Holiness the Dalai Lama, all the Bodhisattvas are in Nagarjuna and so forth, they're all watching us. Why don't you invite them to be the guest, to be the witness, to undertaking the ceremony of taking the Aspirational Bodhisattva vow? As you just making this request, they'll slowly stand up to make 3 prostrations, along with all the sentient beings, to all Bodhisattvas. It may be a little congested, so just try to make a space, a small space for yourself to make 3 prostrations. Okay, now see if you can sit on your right knees. See if you can sit on the right knees. See if you can sit on the right knees. If you have knee problem, don't force yourself. If you have knee replacement surgery and so forth, don't force yourself. Sit in the most comfortable place. Those who are sitting on the chair, also feel free to sit in a chair because we don't have much space at the moment. And those who can sit on the right knees, feel free to sit on the right knees. And given that it may take, given that it may take a while, maybe 2-3 minutes. So in between, if you feel pain, make sure that you sit in the most comfortable position because that the pain should not hamper our contemplation. Okay, with this mind, screen sharing. Okay. Let us turn to page 49. At the old copies, we don't have this full the 5 verses. We only have the 3 verses. But for the new book or the screen sharing, we have all the 5 verses. We'll say this together. Okay. So while this is not just you are saying the verses, but the contemplation must be there because today corresponds to a very holy day, and it's a great opportunity. Why don't we take the opportunity, grab this opportunity to accumulate so much of merit within a short span of time? And imagine that all Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, as you have requested, if you have requested with the witness and the guest, you can just visualize them all with us, Buddha Shakyamuni, His Holiness, and all the great teachers of the Nalanda Masters, the great Nalanda, the Nalanda University, and are in Nagarjuna, Acharya Bodhisattva Deva, Acharya Chandrakirti, and so forth, and all the teachers of the different Buddhist traditions, Tibetan Buddhist traditions, Nyingma, Sakya, Kagyu, Gelu, all the teachers of the different traditions of Theravada Buddhism, of the Chinese Buddhism, of all the great teachers who contributed to the welfare of the humanity, spread of the Buddhism, so let's spread of the goodness, spread of compassion, spread of the wisdom. Let's visual all of them with us. And meanwhile, you also include with you your parents, your children, your family members, and all the dear beings with you. So with this mind, the first verse, I'm going to explain this first verse, and the last 2 verses I will explain. The first verse says that what kind of journey I'm going to undertake is a journey to awaken this hidden treasure within me. And this is the journey which I've never undertaken since time immemorial till today. So I need greatest support. And the greatest of support that I can think of are the Triple Gem. So the first line says, I go for refuge to the Triple Gem. And this journey involves the road. If the road is blocked by the borders and the foreign trade and so forth, again, the journey cannot be successful. So the road is none other than your own mind. Your mind must be freed of the mental defilements like anger, attachment, craving, greed, hostility, negative karmas, and so forth, harming others, and so forth. If you have these so strong in a mind, you cannot expect to awaken the hidden treasure within us. So how to remove this is by confessing the negativity. Second line says, I confess the negativity individually. And the third, the road is very clear now, but if the car does not have enough fuel, again, you cannot undertake the journey. The car is none other than your own mind. Your mind must be freed of the mental defilements. So how to do that? Or your mind has enough fuel of the virtues. Third line says, I rejoice in the virtues of all the beings. So now the road is clear and the car is enough fuel. What kind of journey I'm going to take? The journey to awaken my hidden treasure within me, hidden potential within me. So it says, I hold the precious Buddhahood in my heart. Okay, let's say these 3 verses together 3 times. I go for refuge to the Triple Gem. I confess the negativities individually. I rejoice in the virtues of all the beings. I hold the precious Buddhahood in my heart. I go for refuge and turn enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Sangha. I generate the mind of Bodhicitta to resolutely accomplish the aims of others myself. Having generated the mind of supreme enlightenment, and thought all sentient beings to be my guest, and shall engage in the appealing deeds of excellence and enlightenment, may I become Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge to the Triple Gem. I confess the negativities individually. I rejoice in the virtues of all the beings. I hold the precious Buddhahood in my heart. I go for refuge and am enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Sangha. I generate the mind of Bodhicitta to resolutely accomplish the aims of others myself. Having generated the mind of supreme enlightenment, and thought all sentient beings to be my guest, and shall engage in the appealing deeds of excellence and enlightenment, may I become Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge to the Triple Gem. I confess the negativities individually. I rejoice in the virtues of all the beings. I hold the precious Buddhahood in my heart. I go for refuge and am enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Sangha. I generate the mind of Bodhicitta to resolutely accomplish the aims of others myself. Having generated the mind of supreme enlightenment, and thought all sentient beings to be my guests, and shall engage in the appealing deeds of excellence and enlightenment, may I become Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. Okay, the next 2 verses. The Bhikkhu explained this by invoking Gurus, Buddhas, and Bodhisattvas to pay heed to us. The first verse says that, the first verse is with respect to exploring whether or not there is somebody who succeeded in his journey of awakening hidden treasure. Yes, 2,500 years ago, there was a prince by the name Prince Siddhartha, and he succeeded in his journey. And if you inquire how he succeeded in his journey, is by him creating 2 very powerful factors. The first factor is the factor of the motivation to awaken the hidden treasure within yourself, also known as Bodhicitta, for the benefit of all sentient beings. And to materialize this aspiration of the Bodhicitta, to awaken this hidden treasure, he engaged in the Bodhisattva practices, such as 6 perfections, out of the and 4 perfections, making 10 perfections. 6 perfections, the perfection of the generosity, the ethical discipline, patience, enthusiasm, meditative concentration, and wisdom. And then the 4 perfections is the skillfulness, aspirational prayers, the power, and the primordial wisdom. So these are the 10 practices that he engaged in. And now he becomes such an enlightened being where all his own painful tears stopped, and that he's able to guide the innumerable sentient beings, human beings, animals, insects, and so forth, towards the state of the fearlessness. So if this is how he succeeded, I'll also follow his footsteps. Second verse says, I'll also follow his footsteps by creating the 2 factors, by sharing very powerful motivation with Bodhicitta, and then to materialize this aspiration with Bodhicitta, I'll also engage in Bodhisattva practices. Wholeheartedly try to say this the 3 times. And imagine that you are leading this practice, all beings are joining us, and all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, they're watching us. Gurus, Buddhas, and Bodhisattvas, please pay heed to me. Just as the previous Buddhas have generated the mind of Bodhicitta, and just as they successfully dwell in the Bodhisattva practices, likewise for the benefit of all sentient beings, I will generate the mind of Bodhicitta, and I shall too successfully train Bodhisattva practices. Gurus, Buddhas, and Bodhisattvas, please behave to me. Just as previous Buddhas have generated the amount of Bodhicitta, and just as they successfully dwell in the Bodhisattva practices, likewise for the benefit of all sentient beings, I will generate the amount of Bodhicitta, and Lava shall too successfully dwell in the Bodhisattva practices. Gurus, Buddhas, and Bodhisattvas, please behave to me. Just as previous Buddhas have generated the amount of Bodhicitta, and just as they successfully dwell in the Bodhisattva practices, likewise for the benefit of all sentient beings, I will generate the amount of Bodhicitta, and Lava shall too successfully dwell in the Bodhisattva practices. Feel the joy of a heavenly restoration Bodhisattva vow. And who's entitled to take this is somebody who is not required that you should be Buddhist, not necessary. Anybody can take this as long as you are somebody who wants to make a commitment that from today onwards, I'll try my best not to harm others, and I'll try my best to help others. If this is who you are, you're entitled to take this aspiration Bodhisattva vow and feel the joy of having received the aspiration Bodhisattva vow. With this mind to reinforce this Buddhist commitment within your mind, to make the most greatest, to create the greatest of the purpose for yourself in your life. And we're going to just repeat this the two mantras after me to reinforce this commitment of benefit others, being kind to others, and to feel the joy of you having received this commitment. Om Sarva Yoga Chitam Upadayami. Om Sarva Yoga Chitam Upadayami. Om Sarva Yoga Chitam Upadayami. Om Surade Samayastam Ho Siddha Vajrayada Sukham Om Surade Samayastam Ho Siddha Vajrayada Sukham Om Surade Samayastam O Siddha Vajrayada Sukham. Oh, you feel the joy over having received the aspiration Bodhisattva vow. And imagine all the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, they're so happy. And this having enjoyed both the Vajramon and the full-fledged form in their hearts to multiply infinite number of times. Like rain shower, they descend to merge for the one that you have visualized your heart, thereby become non-dual, stabilized, and blessed. Likewise, all the Vajramons from Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, like rain shower, they descend to merge for the one that you have visualized the heart of your mother, and the heart of your father, and the heart of each one of your members, including children and usual beings, human beings, animals, insects, undergoes, God and goddess, spirits in your own country, in the world, in the massive oceans, the trillions of creatures that are there, and in the wilderness, and the entire Milky Way galaxy, and that entire universe. Everyone now, thereby, because of the descent of the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, they become non-dual, stabilized, and blessed. And this greatest offering that this greatest gift that you can possibly think of making to all Buddhas or the dear Mother sentient beings. Today you have gifted this. This is so precious. And some children, they think of just making the parents so happy. As you grow older, the first earning that they have, they try to buy something and then offer this to parents, or the savings with this, they buy some cars, homes, and so forth for the parents. These are the amazing children, amazing, rather than creating tensions with the parents. They are the ones who are extremely having a sense of the gratitude. These children will shine in their life. So we can emulate these people. So the Buddhist mind that this is exactly what you did today, taking the aspiration Bodhisattva vow. This is the greatest of the gift that you can possibly think of, to all the sentient beings. And with respect to your offerings to all Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, Buddha made it very clear that one moment of generating compassion far excels the gifts of the whole universe filled with gems, the diamond, gold, silver, and offered to all Buddhas, Bodhisattvas. If this were the case, what I mentioned of our having taken the aspiration Bodhisattva vow for the benefit of all different sentient beings, Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, they are so happy and proud of you. This greatest offering that you make today to all Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, and with your life, there's nothing greater meaning than this. And today you have given such a meaning to your life. And all these three wonders are happening with the blessings of all Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, as a gesture of thanking all the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas for these three the wonders that are slowly stand up to make true restorations, along with all demons and sentient beings, to all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. Okay, now please take your seats. Please sit comfortably. Okay, now we've finished the program. Now keep in mind that these practices of compassion, universal compassion, and the wisdom, this is so rare. So what about the future lifetimes? And the future lifetimes, there are two things to keep in mind. One, that we meet with these teachings, meet with, so for example, that there are 8 billion human beings. Out of the 8 billion human beings, how many of them actually heard about Bodhicitta? How many of them have heard what is known as the hidden treasure within? Hardly. So, and that the only if you meet with these teachings, then you will know about these things. For example, like how many of the people, 8 billion human beings, have heard quantum mechanics, relativity theory? So rare, so rare. It doesn't mean that everybody has to go through quantum mechanics, relativity theories. These two will not guarantee that your hidden treasure will be manifested. But the teaching compassion and the teaching unity, wisdom, these two will guarantee that your hidden treasure will be manifested. Everybody has the potential to become like Albert Einstein. Everybody has the potential to become like Mother Teresa, like Mahatma Gandhi. Everybody has this potential. Today we have His Holiness. Everybody has the potential to be like His Holiness. Everyone has potential. So that is known as hidden treasure. So we have to meet with these teachings which tell you that you too have this potential, number one. Number two, after having met with this teaching, how to be very seriously engaging in these. For example, how many of you in your life, you have the experience where you eat something or you smell something, it reminds you of extremely beautiful moments of the past, sometimes very nostalgic feeling, resents. How many of such feelings? So there, for smell, that smell is nothing. That smell and the beautiful memories, these two connected in your past. So that in this life, now, at this age, when you're 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, whatever age that you are with now. So this, you just come in contact with the smell and the past memories, they are tied, because that these two are tied. In the past time, that memory is closely tied with this particular smell. And then now suddenly, after many years, you smell the same thing, these past memories in the form of nostalgia can be triggered back to you. So likewise, say that once you come in contact with these teachings, you try to connect these with the joy, so that in future lifetimes, you hear the word Bodhicitta, wisdom of emptiness, instantly joy will be triggered, because you have these connected the word Bodhicitta, wisdom, emptiness, so forth, with the joy. So when these words, you hear these words in future lifetimes, by coming in contact with these teachings, the joy will be triggered. When there's joy, what happens? When there's joy, then you just plunge into this effortlessly. How many of you find it very difficult to sit for the exams? And how many find it difficult to celebrate your birthday parties? Birthday parties, there's no difficulty. There's a joy there. With exams, there's a tension there. You're getting it? So with joy, then you just, effortlessly, you just go there. There's a passion there. With the joy, there's a passion. When the passion is there, whatever you follow, whatever you want to do, is accomplished effortlessly. For example, like say the Professor Tinsi Shirala, recent. So there's so much of passion in Professor Shirala when he was teaching his students. I've seen that. So there's so much joy there. Joy gives the passion, and passions make you succeed in your life. So this passion in Bodhicitta Wisdom Maintenance, this will guarantee that your goal of awakening your hidden treasure will be manifested. So this, the verse, the last verse which we're reading, this will first connect us with the teaching on Bodhicitta Wisdom Maintenance, and then second, the part which we're reading from Bodhisattva Shantideva's text will teach us how to connect with the joy. Okay, together. Throughout my future lifetimes, may I always be guided by the compassion Buddha and be able to, okay, on page 50, page 50, page 50, for those who are in the main hall, you have the screen sharing. For those on my two sides, page 50, the last paragraph, the last verse. Throughout my future lifetimes, may I always be guided by the compassion Buddha and be able to uphold the true precious bodhicittas even across my life. Throughout my future lifetimes, may I always be guided by compassion Buddha and be able to uphold the true precious bodhicittas even across my life. Throughout my future lifetimes, may I always be guided by the compassion Buddha and be able to uphold the true precious bodhicittas even across my life. Next, in order to further increase this bodhicitta from now on, those with discernment who have lucid the seas and awakened mind of bodhicitta in this way should highly praise in the following manner. Today my life is borne fruit. Having well obtained this human existence, I've been born in the family of the Buddha and now in one of Buddha's children. Thus, whatever actions I do from now on must be in accord with the family. Never shall I disgrace or pollute this noble and unsullied race. Just like a blind man discovering a jewel in a heap of rubbish, likewise by some coincidence, an awakened mind is born within me. It's the supreme ambrosia that overcomes the sovereignty that is the inexhaustible treasure that eliminates all power in the world. Medicine that quells the world's disease is the tree that shelters all beings wandering entirely on the path of conditioned existence. It is a universal bridge that leads to freedom from unhappy states of birth. It is the dawning moon of the mind that dispels the torments of the systemic conceptions. It is the great sun that finally removes the mixed ignorance of the world. It is the quintessential butter from the channel to the middle of Dharma. For all those that travel on the path of conditioned existence, who wish to experience the bounties of happiness, this will satisfy them with joy, and it will place them in supreme bliss. Today, in the presence of all the protectors, I invite the world to be my guest at a festival of temporary and ultimate delight. May gods, demigods all be joyful. Okay, now let's do the introduction prayer, which on page 50, page 55. For the new book, the latest version, page 55, dedication prayers. Okay, now that we come to this, the closing of this ceremony, no doubt we have accumulated so much merit on this day, on this sacred day, and Buddha Purnima day. Let us pray that, let us dedicate the merits that gathered, that His Holiness the Dalai Lama, the true source of joy and happiness on this earth, that he lives long and that his wish be fulfilled spontaneously, and that everybody, be it the leaders or be it the CEOs or be it the commoners or the leading families or the children, everybody learn from His Holiness what is known as universal compassion, based on the understanding of interdependence one from others, and that the world becomes a happier world. So also let us also pray that the teaching on the Bodhicitta wisdom and emptiness flourish, thrive in the world, in the universe, wherever. May all the learning centers of these teachings thrive in the activities of study, contemplation, and meditation. Let me personally dedicate the merits thus gathered, that each one of you, through your concerted effort, in the practice of the wisdom, emptiness, and bodhicitta, that you be able to soon see the dawn of these two qualities within you, that you become happier and happier person. Usually what happens as we grow older and older, we tend to miss the youth. Now, instead of that, if you see that you grow older and older, like my age, and then even older than this, and instead of missing your youth, you see that you become happier, happier, happier. Your life, you have proven that your life is meaningful. Whereas if you tend to miss your youth, which means that you have wasted your life. So we should not waste our life, particularly the younger ones. I would say you still have your times, and the elder ones, Although you think that, okay, now we say he's saying the younger ones, you still have time. Elders, you are the youngest one of the lifespan that you're left with. Elders, my age and older, you today, you are the youngest of the lifespan that you are left with. Do you agree with me or not? Use that youth. Okay. So with this in mind, I pray that each one of you, through your concerted conscious effort in the practice of Bodhicitta, the wisdom of emptiness, that you soon see the dawn of these two qualities in yourself, and that you become, with age, you become happier, happier, happier. This is my prayer. Okay, may the whole world see that all the disasters, man-made problems, the natural disasters, diseases, illnesses, and the family conflicts, all these conflicts which gives pain in the beings, may they all stop and the whole world flourish in the months of peace and universal compassion. With this mind, let's say the prayers together. Meditation prayers. In the land and circle by snow mountains, you are the source of all happiness and good. All powerful champions say Tenzin Gyatso, please remember until samsara ends. Just as a brave Manjushu and summoned about her too, realize things there as are. Also, I dedicate all these matters in the best way that I may follow the perfect example. I dedicate all these rules of virtue by all the Buddhas who appear in 3 times, so that I might perform the noble Bodhisattva's deeds. I dedicate the matters thus gathered towards the realization of deeds in the prayers of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas for 3 times, and to the upholding of the doctrine of scripture and insight. And all lives through the force of this merit, never separate from the 4 wheels of the mind and vehicle, and accomplish all the stages of the path, renunciation, bodhicitta, perfect in the 2 stages, having dispelled all inner and outer obstacles and downfalls, such as poverty, despair, oppression, cruelty, epidemics, and natural disasters, to the environmental degradation. And all beings forever enjoy the glory, peace, and happiness. Inspired by wisdom and compassion, today in the Buddha's presence, I generate the mind of full awakening. May I spend day and night carefully reflecting by what means can enhance this teaching, achieved by the Supreme Savior, through strenuous efforts over countless eons. From my 2 collections, vast space that I've amassed from working with effort at this practice for a great length of time, may I become the shield-beating Buddha for all those whose minds were smiled blinded by ignorance. Reso chong jenge me to de se ge ta bo je be ko sha ye bo kyo lo cha se o mo ne mo ne bo da swa o mo ne mo 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 da swa. Okay, thank you, all of you. Kumala hoye tha, alen timbe, pemdula. Ya, kemra de, ajur, pemdula de pishte de.
Thank you very much, Venerable Geshe Dorji, for your profound teaching and always guiding us every single steps. I would also thank our interpreters and Devishla for your wonderful and dedication towards Nalinda course. I would also like to thank our online and offline participants to joining us to celebrate this auspicious occasion. Now, may I request my colleagues to kindly come up and help to distribute the talk for offline participants. And for the online participants, I would like to invite all of you for our next Bodhicitta Day.
Hello, everyone. So, attention, please. So, we have arranged tea and sweet rice. It is at the reception. Please come and join us at the reception. Yeah. At the lobby reception area, please. Please come and join us. Thank you, everyone.
book title, if you mention this one. Actually, is there any brochure for this program?